Wednesday. So all the new stuff that's happening in the shop this week. I can't remember all the videos. I'm like, it's been crazy. So today I know was whoa, today was a kind of a trash to treasure video. So grabbing a spindle from the back 40 and some old tin cans out of the recycling bin and doing a craft out of that, which I love doing because it's saving things from the landfill that can become very, very pretty, but also very practical things around your home. And my buttons are done up wrong. That's bugging me. Looking at that on the screen going, yeah, that looks wrong. Okay. So I know that we did our video with the 3 candlesticks and 3 different finishes of the candlesticks. And I thought that was kind of a fun one because they all started as kind of this neutral dark brown. And we took them deliberately different places. And I did finally get those loaded. I can't for the life of, I think that was maybe, the candlesticks might have been Friday. I don't know what Monday was. It's too many. I just do too many. But I did get the candlesticks loaded. So all our sets. So we have this set, which is beautiful brown. Now, again, bear in mind, I had somebody asking this. Nothing is new in my shop, like technically. Sometimes I'm getting things, like I've got something tonight I'm going to show you, still has the original sticker on it. So many things are not used, even though they're all antique, vintage, or found items, right? They're coming out of estate sales or coming out of people's homes. We're saving them from the landfill, but nothing, I'm not buying anything from a wholesaler, I guess is the point that I want to make. And I just had some people recently that haven't understood that. They had questions when they're in the shop and kind of went, no, nothing's new. So the older the item, then obviously the more likely it is to have some dings, some chips. If it's porcelain or ceramic, it could have some crazing, that kind of thing. Usually in the descriptions, if I know it, I see it, I try and mention it. But I just think it's worth repeating every so often. So meaning like this candlestick, yeah, are there little dings in it? Yep. That's just the beauty of it. If you need it to be absolutely pristine, don't go there. And the previous owner pulled out the spikes that were on this, which is cool because I would have tried to take it out if I could have. But because now you can put like a planter on there, you can put a big pedestal candle on there, but you've got a lot more flexibility. But this finish left it with the original brown. We polished it all up, but we added the cream banding. And I wanted to show you that sometimes you don't need to do something major in order to be able to fix something up, change the look of it, update it a little bit. So it just kind of took it up a notch where it wasn't just this solid brown, and it really emphasized some of those curves and the details. So this pair is $26, and the 2 of them are the same size. We have this pair where we used some metallic iridescent resins in there. So you can see, even from the reflection of the light, I did a purple, kind of like peacock colors without the green, kind of the peacock blue and purple on this. And I really like how it looked, how it turned out. And very often I experiment on things like candlesticks, on smalls, with finishes that I'm keeping in mind for potential furniture projects in the future. So this is a pretty heavy set, and the 2 of these together go for $32. And the actual heights of them are written in the descriptions on the website. So if you really want to know, are they 12 inches, 14, 16 inches, that's there. The last set is the big, tall carved wooden ones. And these again started life as that brown wood color, but we did them in a finish that's almost reminiscent of that mottled galvanized kind of metal, and then we added some black aging to them. And I love the look of these. Expect, because of the length, the height of them, and the weight of them, that shipping is going to add a chunk on there, but they're $38 for the pair. So even with shipping, they're still going to be extremely reasonable relative to what you would pay formally in a shop, as opposed to my shop for a pair of candlesticks that size, right? Okay, I'm just looking which side do I want to go on, but I think I'm going to go over this side so I'm making room for some of these items. So let's start up at the top so I can move them over to the left. I have this cool little vase, and it's not like Chinese vase necessarily, because it's just the blue with that kind of that slate bluey gray background, and it's just got like some scrolls and some
Greek.
Some tendrils. Well, it doesn't look Greek either, actually. Yeah. So I really like that. I really like the muted shades, and I like the size of it. So $9 for this guy. Just tuck it over there. We have a set of 3 of these blush colored mugs. They're from Portugal. They're designed by Samantha Pin. And I just love that color. It's not, so I'm calling it blush. Maybe you could say it's not quite a dusty rose because it's a little bit more sandy colored than that. It's nice because it's not a bright pink and kind of works nice. So it's the 3 of those for $14. And I liked this little red maple leaf dish. So great for use as just like a key holder, like a little trinket dish. Certainly you could do it for, nuts or dips, but just with everything that's going on in the world or celebrating the Canada hockey team, it just seemed timely. So $6 for that little guy. Now, these guys are being sold as a set, obviously. So it's a set of 6 of these spice shakers. So they've got the shaker holes on the top. They are allspice, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and pepper. I love them just even as like a decorative item up on a shelf somewhere. They are old, they're vintage. They've got crazing on, some of the sides. You can see some of the crazing. $16 for the set of them. And there are no they don't have little tiny plugs. Some of them have the little tiny plugs inside them. Good luck getting that one out. But they're just super cute and definitely an old kind of unique style, but they're done to look like books. And I think having those even up on a shelf in a library, with your books, I think is just adorable. I would have picked up more of these bowls if I could have. There was only one, but I loved it. So this is an old vintage Myatt from Staffordshire, England soup bowl. I love the patterning just in the center of the bowl, and then just a nice little ribbed edge around there. So a little bit of crazing on this one. But I love that as like just a nice decorative bowl. You could certainly it's functional in a lot of respects, but it's just lovely for $8. And now I have the 2 big honking guys. This one is from Italy. This is just a lovely black and white decorative console bowl if you want, or center of the table with fruit. I mean, how good would red apples and oranges look? It seemed redundant to say oranges. Red apples and oranges. So just a nice kind of almost spatterware look for this one, $14. And then this big platter. So lovely calla lilies. This is by Gans, which is a good make, and it's kind of a nice, beautiful little pattern for 16 for the calla lilies. Thanks, Nick. Okay, now I get to go into the smalls. That was the big side. All right, here we've got this decor bucket with the jute rope, intact with its associated greenery, and it's got some little baby lilacs and some lavender. I kept thinking heather, but lavender. And it's got its original tag attached. So this is from Bee and Willow Home, and we're selling it for $12, as is, complete with all of the greenery and florals. I have a definite thing for Jim Shore, and in particular, the angels. I like the Jim Shore snowmen too, but they are much harder to come by. This one is the Angel of Persistence. Yeah, from 2002. And all of her wings are intact. I don't see any chipping on her. She's in great shape for $12. So Angel of Persistence. And she's got a little trowel. Is that the little potting shovel? Potting and florals. This guy, now this is really quite hefty. It's surprising how heavy that is for the size of it. And this is a little mini mortar and pestle. So really good for grinding. This one in particular. So you've got the rough edge here, unglazed in the center. So doing things like peppercorns would be perfect in here, and stuff like that. This is from Martha Stewart Living. And it's quite substantial. So it's got the weight to be able to help you do the grinding, and the weight in the base, so it's not going to go flying all over the table as well. So this little guy is $11. That's the first one of those that I found, and I've never seen them that size. Like I always hate pulling out like a big one if I'm only doing a couple of little things, or especially things. And that's why I think of it like for peppercorns and stuff, because it's kind of like, if you're going to try and crush them in a big, it's really hard to do, right? This is the second one of these little apothecary jars. I have another one somewhere in the shop. Off the top of my head, don't know what shelf it's on, but it's here in the shop. These are from Belgium. They're called little apothecary jars or spice jars. They've got the little rubber seal on them. They're milk glass with a blue transferware kind of Victorian pattern on them. And this one, along with the other in the shop, are $8. Now, this mug, I have 3 of. I'm selling them individually because it seems like the kind of mug that you might gift to somebody or just want one of. It has its own stoneware lid. I love that it's got this rough, kind of textured, carved, decorative surface. It's got the patterning, the shaped patterning going down the handle. It's really reminiscent to me of like bamboo. You know, it has that kind of look to it. So I really think of it as like a tea mug because of that. You know, because it's just got that influence. It wouldn't be
coffee. I mean, not with the lid.
Well, not with the lid, but I mean, you could, because like if you have this in your desk in your office or something, then very often you might want to have the lid on just because you only ever get halfway through your coffee or your tea and then it's stone cold, right? So it's a way of being able to keep it cool. So $8 for this, but again, there's 3 of them. So if you wanted more of a pair or set, then go for it. It's there for you. This is a set of 4 nesting measuring cups. So it is $13. Each of them has its own unique pattern and color. And I like that they're all slightly different. They all unify, you know, so they all work together. Like the color here on the outside is the rim of this one, and, you know, that kind of thing. So there is in this set a 1/4 cup, a 1/2 cup, 1 cup, and 1.5 cups, which is a really popular measure, but you don't usually have measuring cups in that size. So just super cute, $13 for that. The other week I had a different turned wooden pestle, or muddler, whichever way you want to call it, right? So very much, you know, you could use this as a muddler, and especially like if you're doing drinks and you were making mint juleps perhaps, or mojitos. I was thinking like a mojito or something. This is perfect, especially because of the length going down into, you know, a taller pitcher or that kind of thing. This handle though is really unique. I really like that kind of button handle on it. I think the other one is more of a ball on the other end, but this one also is $8. So as much as they're functional, I also think that they're just really cute and decorative. Like even having the 2 of them and sitting in an old crock up on a shelf or something is just super, super cute. Now I have two different salt and pepper shakers tonight. You know, totally unplanned, but that's what I found this week. So there's this rose one. They've got gold trim around the top, which is still intact. So yellow and red and kind of pink roses. This is a transfer wear pattern. So $11 for those guys. And then I have these little kind of cut diamond pattern milk glass Japanese. These are from Japan. Salt and pepper shakers, which are just super adorable. They almost look like they should be little atomizers for perfumes, but these guys are $8. So that was just a super cool find. This I think is one of my favorite finds this week. So it's got the raised strawberry handle up here. And I expected it to be kind of, when I first looked at it, just briefly, I thought it was going to be a brie baker, right? It had that look. And then when I lifted the lid, I saw that there are 3 individual little dishes, each with the cut out hole on the side for a little spoon. So it's like a little condiment set. And they remove from the base tray. And I just love that. So the set is $14. And the only caveat that I have is that on this one dish at the bottom, there's this chip out of it, which you don't even notice at all. It doesn't impact the functionality. It's not up at the top rims or anything or impacting where the spoon goes. But I did take a close-up pic of it on the website as well. And I think it's worth noting. But I think this is super cute with the little strawberry on top and little strawberry patterns along the sides. I have another chicken. I love this little guy. So he's a resin chicken, but just look at the tail. Look at the tail feathers and the detailing on it. I love the little plaid up top and just super cute coloring on this little guy. $8.50 for him. He's just adorable. I love him. Very countrified. It's got kind of a little bit of that casual country vibe going for him, but just again in some funky colors. And I'm finishing off with a planter, but a different planter for me. This is the first one of these that I've had in the shop, which is kind of that rectangular, low slung. It's got the drainage holes in it, and a little bit of free dirt, in this mottled green with the black edged glazing. This is $14. This is technically for bonsai,
I can see that.
right? It would be equally lovely for cacti, I think. So, cacti, kind of a grouping in here with rocks and things, I think would also look super cool, but it is technically for a bonsai. So that would be super cute if you were looking at getting into giving that a try. Then this is the perfect planter for it, but equally good for whatever you have in mind as well. Did I say it was 14? Okay, well, I'm saying that now, so it counts still. It counts still. Okay, that's today's grouping of stuff. So a lot of new little things. Oh, I know what the other thing that I did in the video was Monday. I think that the candlesticks were Fridays, and Monday was that bucket over there, Nick. So Monday, pardon? Okay, sure. So Monday's video, just as I'm looking over at it, was I had thrifted this old wooden bucket that had metal embellishments on it and things, and everything was all one tone. And I had planned originally to paint it, and then I didn't. And I spent an inordinate amount of time removing all the metal, cleaning up the metal as best I could, reattaching some of it. I didn't reattach as many of the florals that were on it, but I love that as just kind of like a funky decorative piece. You could use it as a planter, right? I would just put the pot in separately in there. Little decorative piece with, old rolling pins, wooden rolling pins sticking out of it. That would be super cool. I haven't listed it yet. I'll need to do that. But that was Monday's video. So if you want to see everything I went through with that baby, it was just one of those projects that I had a thought for when I thrifted it. And then once I got started, it just said, no, don't do that to me. Do this instead. So I spent a lot more time on it than I should have, because I will never be able to charge people as much to reflect the time that I put into it. But I'm okay if whoever ultimately buys it loves it, because I'm really in love with that little guy. But that's Monday's video. So if you haven't caught that one, check that one out as well. I knew there was another video in there somewhere. Sometimes things just have to catch my eye. By the time that you guys see them, I already moved on to other videos and I lose track. And I'm just saying it's because I'm busy, not because I'm old. It has nothing to do with my age or my memory, just with my busyness. I'm putting it down to that. And if Nick is a smart man, he will just agree behind the camera.
I hear nothing.
There you go. Thanks for tuning in. As always, guys, like, share, do whatever you need to support the channel a little bit. Super cool if you do. Love you for it. Love you for just watching too. So just sit back and relax and do nothing. That's all right. That's all right as well. Hope to see you next week. Check out the videos. Check out the website if there's anything cool that you want to investigate a little bit further. And otherwise, I'll see you next week. Take care.